You're the same type of person that's like, you're the same person that goes to like a resort in like Tijuana and says, "Oh, we don't have to tip them because they wouldn't really know what to do with our money." Nani? Dynamite! Dynamite! Right? If I told you, oh, by the way, my name's Hiro. It's Identity Booth. Like, share, and subscribe so I can quit my job one day and do this for full time. Hey yo. If I told you she got fired for something, what would you think she was fired for? If you said she was stealing masks and tissue paper during the pandemic, I could believe that. That'd be a valid one. Anti-vax would definitely be one for sure. But if we keeping it real, everything in this country isn't about race, but there's a lot of things in this country that are about race.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, I said it.
I beg your pardon?
Nah, motherfucker, you heard me. Texas nurse fired for refusing implicit bias training. Implicit bias training. Now, what is implicit bias training? Just from a shotgun perspective, did you know in 2019 there were books being written and sold to medical students that implied that people with darker skin had tougher skin? That people who are boisterous or flamboyant about their pain might be lying. And in the illustration sketch it was made out to be a darker person. These biases are learned. And the most important thing, like, medical racism is very important. And I say this as a person who has had to argue for people in the medical field. There was a time where someone was having surgery, and the anesthesiologist couldn't deal with them having long hair. And they requested to have scissors brought in to cut the person's hair while they were under. They had locks. I had to break scrub and get one of my scrunchies and tie their hair up for them because she couldn't handle it. She couldn't deal with it. I can't believe, what am I supposed to do? It's making it hard for me to do my job. Bitch, he's breathing fine. Just relax. And then had the nerves to wake when they woke him up. I almost had to cut your hair, bitch. Calm down. You're a little too excited to talk about fucking with people's hair. But it's something that, like, when people, this is the equivalent of not wanting CRT in hospitals. But if you need a kidney transplant and you're black, you automatically don't qualify next to a white person. A white person would always get it ahead of you if they use the old metrics to rate your kidneys. I forget the name of it. It's like KGRF or something like that, abbreviation. If you're a black woman, you are going to be more than likely forced into having a C-section because a doctor doesn't want to deal with the afterbirths or side effects of a natural birth. So we know that, like, you just have to look at the stats of how many black women died in Louisiana giving childbirth. Like, for everyone to be all those conservatives to be pro-life and see so many people dying is baffling to me. But this lady didn't want to learn about those challenges that black and brown people faced because she doesn't think she's racist. And I'm just here to say this, and I always say this. If you're a white person and you're within 100 miles of another black or brown person, and that black or brown person's name isn't Candace Owens or Uncle Ruckus, you're not the least racist person in the area, okay?
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon?
I said what I said, man. You heard me. You're not the least racist person. White people have really been started to embolden themselves saying that. Someone's like, "Oh, I'm not that racist." I'm like, "Nah, you're a little racist. You're a little racist." It's that all lives matter crowd. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. After spending decades in the profession caring for patients in 2019, Laura Morgan, gross, became a nurse educator at Baylor Scott and White, BSW. I used to work there. Oh wait, no, it's a College Station, Texas. They helped provide continue education and professional development courses for other nurses. The health professional, until conflict over new training module led to her termination. Earlier this year, in September 2021, BSW introduced a new mandatory training session entitled Overcoming Unconscious Bias, with which Morgan says was assumption about all white people. She was told to think about black and brown peoples, and she immediately said, "But what about the white people?" And real talk, there was a dude in my comment section the other day who came in and said, "Hey, I don't see color. I only see red, white, and blue." And I was like, "Well, I only see black people getting shot by white people." You notice how the white is in your flag, motherfucker? Like, when you see, "Oh, I don't see race," I think you're immediately a racist. Like, when people say, "I don't see color," I immediately know you're a racist. You're the same type of person as like, you're the same person that goes to like a resort in like Tijuana and says, "Oh, we don't have to tip them because, they wouldn't really know what to do with our money." After 39 years of providing equal care to all patients without regards to their race, I objected to mandatory course grounded in idea that I am racist because I'm white. Morgan is missing the whole entire point. No, implicit bias training, because I have to take it because I'm a healthcare provider, doesn't imply that because you're white, you're racist. It implies that because you're white, you might not know the struggle of a black person. She would know this if she just took the class or had more than one black friend. The theory of implicit bias is grounded in the idea that regardless of a person's status, beliefs, or values, they unknowingly or unconsciously discriminate against members of other ethnic groups. Implicit bias. If she saw me walking down a dark alleyway and clutched her purse, one, I would snatch that shit out of her hand because you're not stronger than me. Your little clutching your pearls shit ain't gonna stop you. I have stripped the fucking football out of the hands and grips of running backs in the NFL. You are not stronger than me, lady. Your purse is mine. Get the fuck out of my face. But two, would you do that if it was a white woman walking in the alley with you? Probably not. Probably not. Skeptics, however, point out that there is no conscious on the definition of implicit bias, and many experiments to test if it have not applied scientific method. Social psychologist Lee Jusme wrote that most dramatic claims about implicit bias have been debunked or are least shown to be denounced or dubious and scientifically controversial. You want to know something that's interesting? When you look this idiot up, he gets paid by a lot of Republican white men. But also, if you have any questions about if implicit bias works, all you have to do is look at the outcomes of black women and white women in childbirth. The outcome of cancer patients of black and white men, prostate cancer, breast cancer, all of them. Our system is implicitly biased and sometimes outwardly biased. In response to the quest for comments, The Texan spoke with the BSW email to say Baylor Scott and White believes in the importance of its commitment to diversity and equity and inclusion, and innovates and believes that providing a team members resources for continual development. Several states have implemented mandatory implicit bias training for licensure, and although Texas doesn't, the Texas Nursing Association advocates for such training. So it's kind of crazy that this is happening in Texas, and well, I don't know what the outcome of this will be, if she plans on suing or anything like that. But Harris County declared racism a public when Harris County declares racism a public health crisis. I think it's safe to say that you might need a little bit of training on what to do when a black person comes around you. You feel me? Clap it. It's okay, Karen or Laura, whatever the fuck your name is. Don't get bent out of shape because someone called you a racist.